Hey guys, how's it going? Shimbob here, and today I'm bringing you guys my initial guide and tips on how to play Scorch. So first off, let's just go over her abilities and how I like to sort of have her set up. So her main weapon is the thermite launcher, which launches giant thermite grenades that ignite and cause a small patch of AoE damage wherever they land. They're sort of rather slow moving projectiles and they have a little bit of an arch to the trajectory, so just keep that in mind when you're firing it over longer ranges. So next we have her incendiary traps. You have two of these to start off with, and they don't detonate as soon as you shoot them out. They'll sit there until you either shoot them or someone walks over them. But when these do ignite, however, they do quite a lot of damage to Titans that get caught in them. Her third ability is the firewall, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a wall of thermite that shoots directly out in front of the Titan. This can also be really good for detonating the incendiary traps. For her defensive ability, we have the thermal shield. So this is sort of similar to the Ion's vortex shield in the way it looks and sort of handles, although instead of catching projectiles that are shot at the Titan, it just disintegrates them on impact. The thermal shield also damages enemies that get too close to it. And finally we have her core ability, which is appropriately named Flame Core. This is where she slams her fist into the ground and just shoots out a large sort of conal wave of thermite along the ground in front of her. This also does some serious damage. So now I'll just quickly go over how I like to have her set up. For the Titan kit, I like to use Turbo Engine again, similar to Ion. Because Scorch doesn't actually start out with a boost normally, I like to have at least one, just so I can peek around corners and get to cover quickly if need be. For her Scorch kit, I like to use the Inferno Shield. This just increases the damage and duration of the thermal shield. I find it's better for survivability and a little bit extra damage when up close to people. Okay, now moving on to how to sort of put this all together and use her effectively. So the best source of damage for you from range is to launch your incendiary traps near your enemies and then shoot them with your thermite launcher or your firewall. When you shoot the traps out though, try and do it so the enemy is sort of trapped in between two of them or one in front and behind them, so that they have to sort of walk through the fire to escape or just stand in it and burn. That's the best way to do it really. That's the best amount of damage you can do on someone as well. It's the highest sort of DPS you can use. So yeah, you just basically want to keep as much fire on the ground near your opponents as possible. Quick tip, don't go chasing people when you're doing this style of play though, as you'll likely walk through your own thermite and this will do a lot of unnecessary damage to yourself. An alternate method of attack, or one to just use if you find yourself in close quarters with an enemy, is to just put your flame shield in their face, and this will actually do quite a bit of damage to them. It's a great way to burn down rushing Ronins or any other sort of lower health Titans in close quarters. And it's super good for denying pilots that try and jump up and radio you. It's really satisfying to just watch them disintegrate into thin air as they jump up at you. So they're the two main play styles that you'll want to use when you're playing Scorch. Just try and work within tight areas and bottlenecks. That's where Scorch does her best work. Open spaces can kind of mean death for Scorch. A lot of the other Titans are much stronger in those areas. You sort of need to use your cover and peek a bit to sort of put continuous damage on your enemy, as well as baiting them into tight bottlenecks where you can fill it with thermite and just watch them burn. So with that being said guys, I'm going to leave it there for today's guide. I'll probably have a more advanced guide coming out soon once I sort of play her a bit more, but for my initial tips and tricks, that'll do for now. If you guys like the video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up, even subscribe for more content. It's all really appreciated. But until next time, just keep doing what you're doing guys. Cheers.